I want you to imagine this. It's a chilly morning in March. You wake up, ease into your chair by the table, let out a soft breath, and pour yourself a warm cup of tea. On the plate, a slice of toast, a banana, and a few spoonfuls of thin porridge. You take your time, nibble quietly. Then you stand up. Your knees crack a little. Your thighs feel just a bit sore. Climbing the stairs takes a little more effort than it used to. Have you ever felt like that? When I was 40, I used to think, well, I guess when we get older, we just get weaker, eat less, move slower. That's just part of aging. But after more than 20 years working with thousands of older adults, I've learned something different. Losing muscle isn't inevitable. It's something we silently allow to happen. Doctor, I don't feel hungry anymore. One of my patients, 67 years old, thin, always tired, told me during our first visit, "Doctor, these days I just don't feel hungry. A little food is enough. And honestly, it doesn't even taste good anymore." We ran some tests. No serious illness. But when we checked her body composition, her muscle mass had dropped dramatically. She had no idea that the loss of appetite and taste were early signs of muscle loss. Quiet signs. No pain, no fever. But over time, they chip away at mobility, immunity, even her mood. "I can't eat meat anymore." Another patient, Mr. Nam, 73, wears dentures. He told me, "Doctor, I can't chew meat anymore. My jaw gets tired. I mostly eat porridge, fruit, tofu now." Sounds healthy, right? But here's the truth. Because he can't chew meat, can't eat eggs, fish, or nuts. He's severely lacking protein. Tooth loss, chewing pain, swallowing problems. These are quiet reasons why so many older adults unintentionally cut out protein-rich foods. And this leads to a silent cycle. Less protein, more muscle loss, more weakness, less movement, even more muscle loss. Breakfast, the forgotten meal for your muscles. Let's look at a typical day's meals. Morning, porridge, toast, skim milk, about 10 grams of protein. Lunch, rice with vegetables and braised fish, maybe 25 grams. Dinner, small portion of rice and vegetable soup, around 15 grams. What's missing here? Too little protein, especially at breakfast. And science shows that to trigger muscle protein synthesis, you need at least 25 to 30 grams of protein and about 2.5 grams of leucine per meal. It's not enough to eat a big chunk of meat just at lunch. Your muscles need to be fed consistently. Every meal is like putting savings into your health account. Movement, the switch that turns protein into muscle. Picture this. You drink a whey protein shake or eat 3 boiled eggs. Tasty, nutritious, loaded with protein. But if you don't get up, don't move, don't activate your body with some resistance, that protein might not be turned into muscle at all. One of my patients, Uncle Son, 69, would drink whey every morning, then sit on the couch watching TV for 3 straight hours. "I thought just drinking whey was enough," he said. "But did you know," I told him, "just 10 squats beside the kitchen counter could make a real difference?" Even 8 to 12 weeks of light, consistent training, with small dumbbells, resistance bands, or just lifting water bottles, can help even 80, 90-year-olds build strength and muscle. I've seen it happen, again and again. Whey protein isn't a supplement, it's food. Now I get it. Some people are suspicious of whey. They think it's for gym rats, or it's some kind of synthetic powder. But the truth is, whey is just the liquid left over when you make cheese. It's natural, like yogurt, rich in leucine, easy to digest, and incredibly helpful, especially for people who don't eat much, can't chew well, or just don't move enough. If you're eating porridge for breakfast, just imagine adding a scoop of whey to your smoothie or stirring it into Greek yogurt. That one change might just rescue your breakfast. Is this meal building my longevity? That's the question I ask myself. And the question I ask my patients, too. Not, what can I eat to feel full? But instead, What can I eat to live better, healthier, more independently, for another 10, maybe 20 years? It all starts with that first meal of the day. Think of your breakfast plate like a foundation. If you skip it, the whole house can start to wobble. I often ask my patients a question that sounds a little strange. If you could choose, would you rather gain 3 kilograms of muscle or 3 kilograms of fat? They usually laugh. Then they pause and think. And most of them, of course, choose muscle. But then I ask, so what have you done this past week to build those 3 kilos of muscle? That's when the room goes quiet. Muscle isn't just about being strong, it's about staying alive. To me, muscle isn't about looking fit. It's an endocrine organ. It's where your body processes glucose. It's your shield against disease. It's the second brain of your metabolism, and most people are forgetting it even exists. Let me tell you about Helen, 74 years old, living alone in Texas. She can still shop for groceries, lift a small suitcase, and chase her grandkids around. Not because she eats superfoods, but because she's been doing resistance training twice a week for years. She once told me, "I don't work out to look good. I do it so I can stay independent for 10 more years." And you know what? It's her muscle mass that keeps her from falling, helps regulate her blood sugar, her blood pressure, and even her optimism. Your muscles are the biggest blood sugar regulators in your body. Here's something that surprises a lot of people. Your muscles use 70–80% of the glucose in your blood after every meal. So the more muscle you have and the more active it is, the better your insulin sensitivity, and the lower your risk for type 2 diabetes. But lose muscle, slowly, year by year, and you're also losing your natural blood sugar filter. That's when words like insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, visceral fat start showing up on your health record. Lose muscle equals lose immunity plus lose recovery power. Ever seen someone take a really long time to recover after surgery? One of my breast cancer patients, 65 years old, told me, "I never imagined that after chemo I'd be too weak to walk to the bathroom." We measured her body composition. Her muscle mass had dropped dramatically in just 3 months of treatment. Not because of the cancer itself, but because of lack of movement, lack of protein, and lack of recovery. And this is the part I always emphasize. Muscle is your recovery reserve. When you lose muscle, you lose your ability to bounce back from setbacks. Muscle and memory. It's not in your head. Recent studies have shown something fascinating. Resistance training improves memory, focus, even reduces the risk of dementia. Why? Because when you move your muscles, they release molecules called myokines, tiny messengers that travel through your body, affecting inflammation, brain function, fat metabolism, and even your mood. One of these molecules, called irisin, is released during exercise. It's been shown to activate brown fat burning and improve insulin sensitivity. It's like reprogramming your body on a cellular level. You don't need a gym to rebuild your body. One of the biggest mental blocks I hear from older adults is, "I can't lift weights. I'm too weak." But the truth is, you don't need weights. You just need your own body weight. A chair, a wall, a couple of water bottles. I once helped an 84-year-old gentleman in Chicago. He started with simple squats by the kitchen, wall push-ups, and stepping up on the curb. 6 weeks later, he could stand up from the sofa without using his hands. No gym required, just consistency. Deep sleep, the natural muscle-building drug. Your body doesn't build muscle when you eat. It builds muscle when you sleep. If you only sleep 5 hours, and it's broken, your growth hormone and testosterone drop. Recovery slows down. The irony? Older adults often sleep less, but they actually need more recovery. A 2021 study in Nutrients showed even if older adults ate enough protein, those who slept under 6 hours still failed to reach optimal muscle protein synthesis. That's why I always tell my patients, Sleeping well is the most powerful workout you can do without moving a muscle. Think of your muscles like a health savings account. Are you 55, 60, 70? Picture this. Every time you eat enough protein, every time you do a little resistance training, you're making a deposit into your muscle account. Then one day, if you fall, or go through surgery, or get seriously ill, you'll be withdrawing from that same account to recover. But if you never deposit, only withdraw, eventually your account hits zero, and when your muscle account is empty, you can't get up. You lose your independence. You go from being the person who chooses how to live to the person who needs help just to live. I want you to think about something simple. If you've ever had the flu, an appendix surgery, or even just a broken arm, you remember that feeling of weakness, right? That sudden dependence on others? Now imagine this. Aging isn't one big illness. It's a slow-motion recovery that can last for years, and if you don't prepare for it in advance, you're always playing catch-up. A simple system with a deep impact. You don't need to become an athlete. You don't need to weigh every gram of protein. You just need a small daily system, a ritual of sorts. I like to call it the 4-layer strength strategy. Eat 3 protein-rich meals a day, at least 30 grams of protein each. Do resistance training 2 to 3 times a week, short, regular, and just challenging enough. Add light cardio, fast walking, biking, 3 to 4 times per week. Get deep, quality sleep, 7 hours or more. That's it. Every meal is a dose of muscle medicine. If your usual breakfast is congee, toast, or skim milk, I get it. I used to do that too. But what if you added 1 scoop of whey to your yogurt? Or had 2 eggs, half an avocado, and a slice of whole grain bread? You've just gone from 10 GE, 30 GNs of protein. And more importantly, you've crossed the leucine threshold to trigger muscle growth. Muscles don't respond to the total protein in your day. They respond to strong signals in each meal. Think of it like a light switch. Without enough force, it just flickers. It doesn't stay on. Resistance training. Even if it's just water bottles and wall push-ups. I know some of you have back pain, weak knees, maybe sore wrists. So start where you are, not where others expect you to be. 10 squats beside your kitchen counter. 15 wall push-ups, 2 laps walking around your yard, lifting 2 water bottles like bicep curls, standing on 1 foot for 30 seconds. Do that 3 times a week. After a month, you'll feel a difference. No sweat required, no soreness, just repetition. And if you're open to a little help from science, meet creatine. I used to be skeptical about creatine, but the research in the past 5 years completely changed my mind. Just 5 g a day. That's it. And it's not just for building strength in older adults. Creatine supports brain health, memory, reaction speed, and even mood. In a Canadian study of adults aged 65 to 85, the group that combined creatine with resistance training gained more muscle, walked faster, and even scored higher on memory tests. If you're already taking whey protein in the morning, just stir in 1 scoop of creatine. Easy. Deep sleep. The doorway to recovery. You already know that sleeping too little makes you tired. But here's what you may not know. A single night of deep sleep is when your muscle cells repair, when your body sends out its anabolic signals, when your growth hormone peaks. I had a 72-year-old patient with chronic insomnia once tell me, "I'm eating right, I'm exercising, but I'm still not feeling better." So we focused on her sleep. She turned off screens earlier, used warm lighting, and sipped chamomile tea. 6 weeks later, her muscle mass increased. Her sleep deepened. Her mood lifted. Ask yourself this one question every day. Am I building strength or slowly losing it? Don't see this as a battle against aging. See it as a journey to protect your freedom. The freedom to walk, laugh, garden, play with your grandkids, take care of your spouse, or simply stand up from a chair on your own. No one dreams of living to 90, only to depend on others every single day. A small challenge, just to get you started. Here's what I want you to try, just for the next 7 days. 3 meals a day, each with at least 30 grams of protein. At least 2 light resistance workouts. Sleep 7 hours every night, and track how you feel each morning. No need to be perfect, just start. Live as if you're building a body for age 80, starting at age 60, because independence doesn't just happen. It's built, 1 meal, 1 movement, 1 breath at a time. And if this resonated with you, share it with a friend. Not for likes, but because we need to build a community of people who choose to live smart instead of waiting to grow weak.